Okay, we're going to start with the week one training video. These are all clips from the scrimmage games. We had about 2 weeks of scrimmages, took about 8 or 9 games. So we clipped a few plays here. The first play I'm going to show, one of our points of emphasis, and we're going to watch probably 3 or 4 plays, looks like 4 of them on this point of emphasis, is pre-snap awareness and pre-snap recognition and starting plays legally. This, guys, is just a focus issue. I'll run it back so that before the snap. There's pretty clearly 5 guys in the backfield here. This receiver is clearly off. Looks like the line of scrimmage is probably the 28 or so. This receiver is at least 2 yards off. He's back here with all these 3 guys here. And we have a quarterback and an A-back. Again, this isn't difficult. This is just focus. We have to focus on every single snap. In short wings, we have to count the backfield 180 plus times a night, right? This isn't difficult. I think we all can see this. We can all count to 5. It's just we have to have focus and awareness. To be a little blunt, it's kind of inexcusable. We have to be 100% on these types of penalties. Second one here, we've talked about illegal shifts a lot. The crew kind of recognized this, and talked about it at halftime. I think they kind of recognized that they had missed it. We just can't miss it, right? There's 2 guys in motion. They're clearly not set for a full second before they snap the ball. If you're going to send 2 guys in motion, everybody has to get set for 1 full second before you snap the ball. So we maybe recognized it, but now we got to actually call it, right? This is a point of emphasis for us, and one of the things that we have identified as an association we need to get stronger at. 2 men in motion, not getting set for 1 full second, 100%. We've got to get these. No warning on this. This isn't a warning. This is a foul. Play 142. So look at the right tackle and the right guard. As the ball is being snapped, they're both going down. The right guard goes down, then the right tackle goes down as the ball is being snapped. It's a foul. There's no warning for this. It is a foul. I'd maybe even be okay if you shut this down for a false start. Textbook by the rule, it's probably best called an illegal shift. But if you shut this down for a false start, I can support it. We can't have a no call here, which is unfortunately what we go with. This is 100% a foul. Now, luckily, the defense intercepts the ball, and the foul would have been declined anyway. But we've got to get better at recognizing these types of fouls because, unfortunately, we didn't call it, and we missed that. Excellent job here, by the way, while we're training. Excellent job in reverse mechanics. I mean, I want you to watch the deep wing on the far side as soon as we get this interception. He reverses, and look at the wheels on that guy. He's flying up. Maybe slow down a little bit and stay behind the runner. But I like the enthusiasm. Look at both short wings. The short wing on the far side flows downfield, spots the interception, says, "Okay, I'm gone. Bye, see ya," and runs away from the ball, gets to the goal line. And we see the same thing from the short wing on the other side. So mechanically, really, really good job here, guys. Deep wing on the far side. Just remember to stay behind the ball a little bit, but your foot speed's impressive. And then I wanted to show the end zone view as I think best. We talked about pre-snap movement that simulates a snap. And this actually came up. The offensive coach actually asked about this because apparently this was maybe on the training tape that the coaches got from the state. So what is the defense allowed to do? They are allowed to, the defensive team is allowed to shift or stem, whatever you want to call it, as long as they don't simulate a snap. And if I look at my 3 down linemen here, nothing that they do, in my opinion, simulates the snap. They're allowed to shift. They're not jerking their hand motion. They're not doing anything that simulates a snap. Now, apparently the linebacker, I think it's number 17 here, was giving a hard count. He was giving, apparently what he was yelling was shift. He was saying shift. He's allowed to do that. Shift is not an offensive word. So that's fine. So I don't really see anything here that the defense does illegally. I would say be careful with what number 17 does here with his cadence. Make sure he doesn't give a go or, he doesn't in any way simulate a snap with his verbiage. But that you can't tell that on film. But as far as the physical movement of the defensive lineman, we would say that this is just a legal defensive stem or shift, and this would be fine. All right, let's talk about backward and forward pass mechanics. So this is a first half play, and as we know, on the first half of action, the line judge is at the opposite side of the press box. So the short wing on the top side of the formation, we have a a rookie that's kind of shadowy here. So the short wing at the top side of the formation is the line judge. So by the mechanics book, GHSA, whether you agree with it or don't, does say that the decision on whether a pass is backwards or forwards comes from the line judge. So we'll see this. We get a very close ruling on whether it's backwards or forwards. I'll pause it here. The short wing of the line judge calls this backwards. We can see a very clear, noticeable punch. The short wing then comes in and calls this on the near side, calls it incomplete. Now let's talk about the rule. If in doubt, it's forward, right? Now if we can't be in doubt when it's 3 yards in either direction, but if in doubt, if it's close, the GHSA has told us, and I agree with it. If in doubt, it's forward. This is close enough that we can call this forward, right? It's incomplete. That you're going to live a lot longer. You call this incomplete as opposed to nitpicking about the initial direction. So if you're the short wing on the near side and you're 100% certain that it's forward, and your partner's punching back, but you've got it forward, wave it off. It's incomplete. So we do okay here. The short wing comes in and rules this incomplete. The training point would be here for the line judge. Be a little bit more patient, probably. Right? You don't have to be in a rush to rule. Yeah, we have to rule. Mechanics book says the line judge must rule on this pass. And the PEB, I know, will hit us hard on, hey, why didn't you punch on the pass on play 21? But you don't have to punch immediately, right? You can take your time and process and slow down. I think we're in a little bit of a hurry here to rule, and which rule ends up us ruling a pass backwards, which we would probably, if we had it back, would probably rather rule forward, right? So just if you're the line judge up here, just take your time. Wait, you've got a second, man. There's no time limit here. We have to do it. PEB is going to hit us if you're a playoff referee. They're going to hit you hard on this as a line judge. Make sure you punch. But you can take a beat or two and just make certain you're going to make a good ruling. For the head linesman, if it's clear and 100% obvious that this pass is forward, go ahead and wave it off. That's what we do here. All right, play 112. Interesting play from the scrimmage games, right? We don't get these terribly often, so I'll let the play run. So we get a pass here, just kind of call it, they kind of go to the ground, whatever. We end up ruling an interception on this play and award a touchback. And you can see we're a little slow to rule, which is not a problem, guys. To be clear, we can be slow to rule. We can make sure we have all the information and then make the best ruling. And if it takes a little bit of time, that's fine. There's no time limit. I think we probably get the ruling wrong. If you look at the play, the receiver kind of goes up, gets two hands on the ball. I'll pause it. We'll slow it down a little bit. Receiver goes up, and he's got two hands on the ball, and then the defensive player has his arm in there. And this is, in our opinion, I talked about this with all the members of the training committee. This is a textbook simultaneous catch. The defender has an arm in there, but the receiver also has two hands on it. And then as they go to the ground, the defender wrestles it away. Insult view is not great either. Neither view is great to be. We're not 100% certain on this, but I think we're probably best because if you look there, offensive players got it. We never see any sort of bobble, and they're kind of wrestling over the ball, right? So in this situation, we would have actually preferred a simultaneous catch. We did talk about this as a committee and make sure we all agree. The training committee all unanimously says we would have preferred this to be ruled a simultaneous catch. Just to make sure we go clear over the rules here, simultaneous catch, the ball becomes dead immediately, and it belongs to the offense. So this would have been a tough one because the defensive player kind of strips the ball at the end, and he's running away celebrating, but it's actually a touchdown in our opinion. So interesting play we could have had here and ruled a simultaneous catch. All right, next play. I think it's going to be the slot receiver down here in the bottom. You see this, and I wanted to talk about the hit by the defensive player. So the receiver is 100% defenseless. We all agree, right? But there's no rule that says you can't contact a defenseless player. It says you can't use forceful contact to punish a defenseless player. And one of the things that you're allowed to do, you're allowed to wrap up, which he doesn't do. He doesn't attempt to wrap up. But you're also allowed to use non-forceful contact, and one way to do that is with open hands. And that's kind of what he does here. This is not forceful contact. This isn't a blow-up hit. This isn't a hit intended to punish. This is a defender trying to separate the receiver from the ball by using what means are legal. So this is a legal hit against the defenseless player. So we've got to make sure we use correct terminology, right? Because what if the offensive coach comes to us, and this is, I've heard offensive coach say, he hit a defenseless receiver. Yes, coach, you are allowed to contact a defenseless receiver as long as you do so legally, right? That's the winning words that we want to use. Coach, that hit was not forceful. It was with open hands. It was an attempt to wrap up, something that the defensive player does legally that allows him to contact a defenseless receiver. So this is a legal hit. This is not a foul, and a good no call here by the crew. All right, deep wing up here at the top. We get the slot receiver up at the top of the screen, kind of runs a corner route. It kind of runs to the corner here, and we get a very, very, very tight rolling. The end zone view is no help. Trust me, I looked. The end zone view is no help, and we have a very, very tight rolling. A couple things. This is a first-year field judge, right? This is a tight call, your first year, right? I love a lot of things here. I love the patience. He's not in a hurry to rule. He gets a good look at the play. A lot of people, this is kind of a training thing that's kind of come. We used to teach for the side judge or the field judge to kind of come in here to get a look straight down the sideline. And the new way of thinking is they want the deep official to stay 2 yards off, as this deep official does. And the reason for that is so that now the headline judge or the short wing can see straight down the sideline. If you step here, you block out the short wing and he can't help you anymore. But if you stay right here, now the short wing can get a look down this sideline and can be help if you need it. If you don't need help, you don't need help. But if you need help, hey, was he in bounds? You can ask your short wing. So I like that we stay 2 yards back. I like that. And I like our patience. We take our time and we make a ruling. We're not in a hurry to signal touchdown. Now, what can we do better? We need to turn and face these players out of bounds. This isn't just for a first-year official. A lot of our veteran officials do this. We need to turn and face this action out of bounds, right? You can signal touchdown while facing out to these players. Why is that? The first and obvious reason is to make sure that nobody gets up here swinging, right? Just make sure we don't have any unsportsmanlike conduct activity. That's the one that we always harp on. The second reason is he makes this catch, but in the process of the catch, he goes to the ground. If at any point after he goes to the ground, this ball comes out, it's incomplete by rule. So we have to turn and face that action to make sure he maintains possession of the ball. Now, to be clear, in this play, he does. This is 100% a touchdown. We get the play right. I'm just talking about some mechanics that we can work a little bit better and that we can all learn from. All right. So outside receiver here at the top of the screen, clear grab and restrict right there, right? Like, again, receiver at the top of the screen. I think we would all agree. Right here, the break of the route, he grabs him, yanks him down. There's some more contact. He grabs the yoke of the jersey at least once, probably twice. This is clear restriction, especially right here at the top of the route, right here. There is clear restriction where he clearly takes a full step away from the receiver. This is 100% a foul. We get the foul. Great call, right? Unfortunately, we called this defensive holding. This should be DPI. This is DPI 100% out of the time, guys. This is defensive pass interference. This is not defensive holding. Remember, holding needs to take place before the ball is thrown. And if in doubt, it's DPI. So if in doubt, it's DPI. Don't try to dissect, was the ball in the air or not? If they throw the ball to that receiver and you're in doubt, it's DPI. All right? The only time I would maybe have defensive holding on this receiver is if he was held right here. And then the play continued. And then he kept going on. But this is clearly DPI. And so I think too often at deep wings, we kind of say, well, let's just call holding because it's only 10 yards instead of 15. Nah, man, they did it. Give them the full 15. And you can see in this situation, it would have mattered because instead of it, now it brings up 2nd and 6 when it should have brought up 2nd and 1. And 2nd and 1 is a huge yardage advantage for the offensive team because now they might take a shot deep because they know they have 2 downs to get 1 yard. So if in doubt, defensive pass interference. All right, defensive player here in the middle that I have circled. You guys can see that. Guys, we miss a pretty gnarly block below the waist here. Pretty clear, pretty gnarly. This can break a kid's leg. Something I was talking about with the president is, we're so ticky-tack on offensive holding fouls. We call everything offensive holding. but a kid gets chopped below the waist in a way that can break his leg and we don't call it, right? We've got to get these blocks below the waist. Short wing on the far side, like this is right there in your wheelhouse, man. Like it's a pulling or an offensive player kind of pulling towards you. That should have your eyes. Referee, maybe you can help here. I don't know. Probably should be able to help out here a little bit. Somebody 100% of the time. We have to be 100% on this foul. I'll show it again from the end zone view. We can't be 85%. We can't be 90%. We need to get this action 100% of the time, and unfortunately, we miss it here. So remember, for a hold, if in doubt, it is not a foul because it's not a safety violation, right? Safety violations are different. This is 100% a safety violation, and if in doubt, it is a foul. So we probably need to get a little stricter about calling blocks below the waist. And I can always support you if you call one that's maybe 50-50 to maybe even on the incorrect side, because I can say, hey, this crew is erring on the side of safety, and if in doubt, it's a safety foul, it's a foul. So we got to get this one. We do pick up this one. Different team, or excuse me, same team, and this is the same play. Here's the play. This is the different team, so now Dublin's on defense, unfortunately. So it's this player we have circled, the DB. He kind of comes around and takes out the lead blocker low. You can see he just kind of completely submarines this kid. I know the view's not great, but you can see he just dives right at the knees. We get this one right here. The short wing's right on top of it. We get a marker down. We continue to officiate the play, and we come in. So maybe this crew talked about it at halftime, and if so, great adjustment, right? I don't know if the end zone view helps us a whole lot on this. No, you don't really see it on the end zone view. But from the high 50, we get this outside defensive back, and he just dives in at the lead blocker's knees. It's a foul 100% of the time. So if this was a component conversation for the crew and they picked it up, hey, that's great. Another thing, I know the tackle or whatever happens back here. So, on offensive holding fouls, we talk about, well, if the tackle is behind safety fouls, nothing else matters. You commit a safety foul, we're calling it 100% of the time. So, great job here to go ahead and penalize this illegal block below the waist by the defense. And our final play is one that we talk about all the time. Hopefully never happens. Rarely does happen. And it happened to this crew. So the line of scrimmage is the 14-yard line. So it's a punt play. Oh, shoot. Oh, crap. We get this. Now, the punt is going to cross the line of scrimmage. It lands up here at the 24, but then untouched. Nobody ever touches this ball, and it bounces back here to around the 10. Now, luckily, the kicking team just falls on it and downs it, so the play is over anyway. But to be clear, all that matters under the high school rule is where does the kicking team recover it? Not where it goes, where do they recover it? So even though this ball crossed the line of scrimmage, the second it comes behind the line of scrimmage, which was the 14, at this point, the line of scrimmage was the 14, the ball's at the 13. At this point, the kicking team can pick this ball up and run with it. They have that right. Now, again, we get lucky here. They just fall on it. But if the kicking team wanted to at this point, they could have picked it up and ran with it. So make sure you talk about that as a crew. How are we going to handle this? Because it did happen to this crew, and it can happen to you, right? So a couple of things here. Short wings, don't be in a hurry to leave the line of scrimmage until you know 100% that the line of scrimmage is no longer threatened. Because if you see, our line judges come up here to the 16-yard line, and the 14-yard line's ultra critical here, right? So I know the ball crosses the line of scrimmage, so we think, oh, we need to start flowing down to help with punt coverage. But if you can read a punt like this and read that, it's not the best punt in the world, we just want you to hold the line of scrimmage a little bit longer so that you can help on, was the ball behind the line of scrimmage when the kicking team picked it up? If you're unsure, let the play keep going. Drop a beanbag where the kicking team picked it up. Let's say they picked it up right here, and you're not sure. Let the play keep going and drop a beanbag. Because if they pick it up and then we run, let's say they run it for a touchdown, and then we come back to the beanbag and we say, no, he picked this ball up at the 15-yard line. The line of scrimmage was the 14. well, then the kicking team can't advance that the ball was dead. We can always bring the ball back and get the play right. It might look weird, but we can do that. So if you're unsure, just let the play continue and drop a beanbag. Now, we want you to be sure, and one way to be sure is to not leave the line of scrimmage until the ball is 100% crossed the line of scrimmage and isn't coming back, right? So just hold the line of scrimmage here a little bit longer. So interesting play that we don't get terribly often, but I wanted to show it because it happened to this crew on Friday, and it can happen to you this Friday. So make sure you pregame that as a crew.